Bolivia, since the beginning of the millennium, is experiencing a new phase of its history involving governmental responsibility of the poorest social classes and those who arrive from surrounding countries and towns. Notwithstanding progress within social, political and economic areas, poverty continues to be one of the country's main problems. Old and new types of poverty can be seen side by side. Evident situations of inequality and injustice persist and manifest themselves in the diverse possibilities with regards to access to healthcare, education and job opportunities.
Párate. Mira para aquí. ¿Cómo te llamas? Juan. Juan. ¿Cuántos años tienes?
6 años.
¿Cuánto?
7 años.
There are about 20 works operating in the whole of Bolivia to deal with the needs of the population and local church. The dedication of Don Bosco's Salesians among the young, especially the abandoned, has stimulated a great pastoral vitality and apostolic creativity. Parish works, welcoming centres and aid for socially excluded young people and training projects.
Nuestra población de Bolivia.
60% of the Bolivian population is young and poor, so I believe that this is the ideal place for Don Bosco's charism, where it has found solid roots, is widely known and much appreciated.
Querido y reconocido.
Salesian educational activity is developed above all through teaching. There are primary and secondary schools such as the Don Bosco College of Santa Cruz and Independencia or the Hogar Don Bosco of Santa Cruz, which welcomes numerous orphans created by the new types of poverty. Study, play, sport and education, including a healthy competitive spirit, are precious opportunities for growth.
Se ha dicho que el colegio en Boca es el mejor colegio del mundo. Gracias.
No tanto. A ver.
As well as schooling, the development of the individual is taken into consideration, and Christian teaching for young people aided by the constant presence of adult educators, according to the Salesian practice of assistance. The educational program for older youngsters tries to make the best of each individual's talents according to work opportunities in Bolivian society. From Cochabamba to the peaks of El Alto, the Don Bosco project of the Salesians in Bolivia focuses around schools and professional laboratories capable of training young people in various fields.
En esta escuela técnica ustedes pueden ver estudios de repostería.
In this technical school, as you can see, there are bread making, dressmaking and hairdressing laboratories. It's a way of educating and training these young women so that they can find a job soon and make something of their lives.
Realizarse en la vida.
At Tiscoma, the professional proposal of the agricultural school works alongside the handicraft laboratories set up in true Salesian style. That is, the Mato Grosso operation. At Santa Cruz de la Sierra, the Gran Camoglia and the Albergue Miguel Magone, which also recall Salesian tradition in their names, offer training opportunities, especially to young people in difficulty who have managed to drag themselves away from a life on the streets, and those who arrive from distant towns within the country. Like Ugo, who before he arrived at Miguel Magone worked in the fields in the province of Sucre with his family. My aim is to leave here with a qualification, to carry on studying. Well, actually, to stay with the Salesians. I like Salesian life. I've seen how they live and heard the things they have to tell us. I think I'd like to stay with them and become a Salesian to help other people, such as children who need people willing to help them. Youngsters like Hugo are lucky. They have accepted the proposal of a different sort of life and they are trying to stick with it. Others end up choosing, or they are forced, to live on the streets, with all its dire consequences. Yet there is a welcoming hostel for them, the Techo Pinali.
En medio de las obras pastorales de la Inspectoría Salesiana en Bolivia,
The particularly special characteristic of the Salesian pastoral works in Bolivia is that it runs the Council Don Bosco schools, financed by the state, allowing us to take care of state schools, which are free for the pupils, in that all school fees are paid for by the government. There are a huge number of educational facilities, 260 in all. It's a young world, children and young people, 110,000 pupils. A group of lay workers and Salesians plus 2 part-time Salesians educate, evangelize and take Don Bosco's charism to the furthest corners of the country, serving above all the most disadvantaged members of society.
Salesiano de Don Bosco a los rincones más apartados y menos favorecidos de la sociedad.
Eso es un privilegio ver.
It's a privilege to see how the Salesians are taking care of these young people and how they have strived to give their best, such as with training in the centres they have set up, in the schools, agricultural and technical colleges, and how they have gone to look for youngsters on the streets or along remote mountain paths to offer them a better life, health and education.
Salud, educación para ellos.
For the Salesians in Bolivia, educating means staying among the people, with the poor and the young, offering them an opportunity of life, above all, Christian and humane. The vitality of their charism expresses itself in the most forgotten and distant parishes.
Desde el 77 empezó CAMI, y son más de 30 años.
CAMI was set up in 77 and we've been working in this area for more than 30 years. It's mainly an agricultural and mining area. We have set up communities, but we are also present to administer the sacraments of baptism, matrimony and to celebrate Mass. We are very close to the communities of the Andes because we live at 4,000 meters above sea level, where there is a great deal of poverty. This has pushed us to find various solutions.
Comunidades andinas que viven una pobreza muy grande y esto nos ha provocado a buscar soluciones. Pensamos que tener estas posiciones.
As a congregation, we are aware that staying in this place involves a great deal of effort. We know it is difficult to teach young Salesians who come from other places to live in these conditions. But we believe that it's worth offering your life to help those who have received very little from life itself.
Han tenido muy poco de la vida.
The Salesians in Bolivia look towards the future, trying to educate honest citizens, professionals and teachers for a nation with great hopes. At La Paz lies the Salesian University.
La Universidad Salesiana de Bolivia significa la presencia de Don Bosco para la juventud que no teniendo.
The Salesian University in Bolivia represents the presence of Don Bosco for young people who would not have the chance of studying in a state university, which has closed number courses and is very expensive. Don Bosco provides an answer for these youngsters. There are 6,500 students on this campus who have the chance of living the experience of quality university studies in a university with a Salesian identity, open to young people who want to further their education.
Deseosa y ansiosa de estudios superiores. Es Don Bosco presente en Bolivia en la educación superior.
At Cochabamba, future Salesians are trained. Here, the pre-novices and novices are welcomed, and those who will further their studies at the post-novitiate. Many young people have passed through this training home from many different places and from various experiences within our Bolivian works. I believe that we think, as educators, the inspectorate is within their eyes and the hope of many young people who live in our country, in Bolivia.
Hace más de 100 años, los salesianos llegaron a Bolivia.
The Salesians arrived in Bolivia more than 100 years ago, and since then up to the present time, it's been a long journey. I remember reading a phrase when I was a young boy: walk, walk, don't stop walking, tomorrow someone will walk in your footsteps. I asked myself where those footsteps were leading, and around me I saw Salesians who were walking towards Christ with their own style, the style of Don Bosco.
De Cristo con un estilo, con el estilo de Don Bosco. Hoy, después de 45 años de ser un
Today, after 45 years of inspectorate life, the inspectorate of Our Lady of Copacabana, the Salesians walk towards the young to discover Christ with Salesian style and love, the love of God. A country full of young people, poor and needy, but above all, open to an encounter with God's love. Thanks to them, we can say that it's worth the while of walking and continuing to walk so that others will follow in the footsteps that lead to this experience of love. Love for God, love for young people.
De amor a Dios, de amor a los muchachos.